Self-love, yet another video. Yep, on the internet. There's a lot of them on self-love, but I want to give my take on self-love. But first, before we go into self-love, I want to talk about what love means. Love is generally a choice to really just care for somebody, right? So you love your parents, you love your siblings, you love your friends, and you love your partner. Let's use our siblings, for example, in this case, which let's say you have a sister or a brother who lives on the other side of the country. And to show your love, every single month you will send a handwritten postcard to your sibling to show that you care. And if anything were to happen to them, you will help them. You'll be there for them. You have them in your thoughts, right? That's one way to show love. Now, just because you have that action, that doesn't mean you love them, right? The action needs to come with intent and commitment to help, right? So there are many scenarios where we can trick the system where we can do the actions because people will perceive that as showing love. We can make them feel like you love them, but you actually don't. But you're trying to trick the system into getting something out of this action, right? So that's not part of this video, but just as a heads up that action alone does not dictate that you love someone. It needs to come with intent and the commitment to follow through with that action. So you care and you are committed to do something about it if something were to happen, right? Now, in friends, it's the same thing. Friends, in if they do something that you think is maybe questionable, right? Maybe not the best for them, but because you love your friend, you might want to give them your opinion or tell them about it. Tell them how you feel. And it's like, well, or give them a different perspective, right? Because you can see them from a broader view, and you can see more than what they can see. They're more of a tunnel vision. We all are, right? We all just see what's in front of us. So having a third person perspective helps a lot. So you as the friend who love your friend, you might say, I don't think that's a very good idea, right? Because you love them, you care for them, you want what's best for them, or you want at least what's better for them, right? You say, okay, well, I don't think that's a very good idea. Maybe we should try something else, or maybe you shouldn't do that, or whatever the case may be. If you didn't love them, you wouldn't bother to say that at all. You would just let them do it, right? Because you don't care, you don't love them. But because you do love them, you let them know. Now they might not respond, um, in corresponding to what you were saying, right? You say it's not a good idea, they might go ahead with it anyway. But here's the other thing about love is that, okay, well, you gave your thoughts, you gave your opinion, but you still love them. They didn't quite listen to you this time, but you know what? Because you love them, you still support them. You support their decision in life, right? Because you love them, you care. So they go do their things, and maybe they succeed sometimes, maybe they fail sometimes, right? By their own decision, ignoring your opinions, or maybe they did take your opinions into account, but they did what they did anyway. Now, let's say they go down the deep end, right? But you still love your friend. They go down the deep end. You've tried to help them along the way, um, but then one day they decide to turn their life around, right? Um, in that case, when they're trying to turn their life around because you love them and you care for them, now you commit to help them get back up on the path that they probably should have gone on, or maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they needed this deep end to grow. So whatever the case may be, because you love someone and you care about them, there's action involved. There's that commitment and action involved to help, to care, to um, lift them up, to help them progress, to be better, to be a better person, to improve, or whatever the case may be, right? So your partner is the same thing. When you love them, you care for them, you help them, you give them your opinions, you do whatever you can to help their life become better. Now, self love, going back to self love, we can think about the same thing. So, self love, what does that mean? You love yourself, you care for yourself, and you're committed to help yourself be better. Now, this is going to sound a little bit strange, but pretend you have multiple personalities, right? It's not a disorder in this case. So it's like you're seeing yourself, you have to constantly assess yourself from a third person perspective. It's pretty hard to do, but with some practice, I think anyone is able to do this, right? You just have to step back a little bit. Just step back from your life. Just think to yourself, pretend you're a different person. Just look at yourself from a third person perspective to see how you're doing in your life, right? And self love, I would like to split into three different categories, right? There's the physical aspect of your life, there's the mental aspect, and the emotional aspect. Now let's start with physical, right? Physical would be your physical health, um, and that's pretty straightforward. So it'll be your diet, your exercise routine, your medical history, your medical conditions, or anything like that, right? So if you look back on yourself and you say and you see maybe you're not exercising as much, maybe you should exercise a little bit more. I'm not saying like a lot. You're trying to be a bodybuilder or an athlete or anything like that, but some activity every day is good for you. And maybe you want to tell yourself, hey, some activity might be good for you, right? And or maybe it's a diet, right? Maybe you like to order food all the time from fast food. Not all fast food is bad, but depending on your situation, you might want to change your menu, or you might want to do it less. Maybe you're not good at cooking. Maybe you want to pick up cooking instead to eat a little bit more controlled of what you want to eat. Maybe you don't have time, so maybe you do takeout, or maybe you don't have enough money. Taking out is too expensive, so you want to save money. So there's a lot of factors involved, but you have to tell yourself what's better for you. I'm not saying what's best for you like immediately. You can do that as time goes on. You take a little step at a time, right? So you say, okay, well, what's better for me now? Maybe I'll move one step forward, right? So then you have to tell yourself, because you love yourself, you have to tell yourself that, and then help yourself do that. um, that's part of self-love. You because you care about yourself. um, and the last part is the medical, right? The same thing with the others is maybe you don't haven't gone to the doctors in a long time, or maybe there's some thing on your back or something hurting in your body that you just haven't taken care of. Maybe you don't have money to take care of that right now, but at least take steps to get that taken care of, right? So that's self-care. So it's the same thing with your friend. Your friend is hurting somewhere, and you say, hey, you know what? Maybe you should go see a doctor. Maybe you should go talk to someone who's in that field and maybe get their opinion. Who might not be a doctor, who might not be um, professionally a doctor, but you can probably get advice for free. Talk to them. So same, you can probably do that too. You can get some advice from people who are in the medical field and see what they have to say about it. Um, so that's the physical self care part, and the second part is the mental, right? So maybe you have anxiety, maybe you have depression, maybe you're sad, maybe you're easily angry, triggered, or whatever the case may be. Um, you need to also step back and tell yourself, hey, you know what? Chill out a little bit, right? If you're angry, if you can chill a little bit. If you're anxious, you can also say, hey, you know what? It's going to be okay for now, right? We'll just calm down a little bit and see yourself from a third person perspective, right? Maybe you're overthinking a little bit, but you need to like psych yourself out and bring yourself back up. And if you have friends, this is perfect, right? If you have friends, yeah, that's perfect. You ask for friends for help, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you are able to um, help your friends, if you're willing to help your friends, you should rely on your friends too. That's a way to build trust when you ask for help. Um, but um, we have to recognize what our problems are that we can improve, or aspects of our lives that we can improve to take, again, not leaps, right? We're not talking about leaps and like completely eradicate all of our weaknesses and problems, but to take one step at a time. You just want to go in that direction, right? You don't want to go down the deep end. You want to just turn around, right? You might still be very near the deep end, but at least you've turned around. Turn around and go the other way, right? One step at a time. Emotional is very similar to mental, but so these are other feelings that we have that are not quite mental, just feelings in our hearts, um, that we can I guess also turn around and move the other direction. So emotional feelings like uh, I can't think of the word right now. associated with sadness, like heartbreak, or for example, and those are emotional feelings. We can also turn those around with help of people, or sometimes ourselves, to look for content to help us, move in the other direction. Um, Again, one step at a time. We're not looking for leaps and bounds. And one very key point in all of this is that as we're taking these steps, we are not looking for results. Okay, I want to throw that out there. Just throw the thought like results, throw it out the window. Okay, all we care about here is the direction and that we're moving. Okay, because as soon as we put results in the equation, that's gonna bring, there's a high possibility that we bring um, depression, sadness, disappointment, because as we're doing things, we all go on different paces, and as we're improving, we want to see, like, we have a goal, right? We have a goal. Goals are nice, but don't chase the results. Is what I'm trying to say. Goals are nice. You can see yourself, you can measure yourself improving to know that you're actually taking a step forward. But if you're chasing the results, that can lead to horrendous effects, and we don't want that. So hopefully, understanding these three things about self-love, and understanding that love is what love actually means is just you care and you'll do something about it, right? That'll help you do better at improving your own life. And as you improve your own life, you are now capable of helping other people in their life, right? So it's like the whole airplane thing, right? If the airplane is crashing and the oxygen mask comes down, they always tell you to help yourself first, right? Get your mask on first before you help somebody else. This is the same thing in life. You don't have a lot of capacity to help others if you are not ready to help others, right? So you want to make sure you are ready, um, fit, physically, uh, mentally, emotionally fit to help others, to help yourself first, right, before you can help others. So uh, if you have any experiences with self-love, your transitions or anything like that, please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, again, like all the other videos, please share with your friends. Thanks.